So anorexia nervosa, what is it exactly? It's actually a psychological illness and an eating disorder where people actually abstain themselves from food in order to attain the perfect body image that they have in their own mind. But where does it come from exactly? So if we back all the way back to 1873, where Sir William Gould actually invented the term anorexia, which gave it a more medicine term rather than spiritual, whereas beforehand it was actually to reach a perfect body for spiritual reason, where we really wanted to please God. But now in today's world and in 1873, it gave it a more medicine term, as I said, where women mostly wanted to reach their perfect and ideal body. Now, fast forward to 1973. Hilde published a book on anorexia, including many case studies. So what it did was reach a little bit more the general public. And in that year after, so following the publishing of the book, there were many more cases involving anorexia than there were before.
So for cultural facts, some people are thinking that Photoshop and the message that it sends are causing eating disorders. They seem to be lacking an understanding of anorexia nervosa and eating disorders. In reality, it is related to biological, genetical, and psychological underpinnage. So what we can say about this is the Photoshop is, yes, it's sending a pressure feeling on people, but it's not creating eating disorders.
Now what about the statistics? So according to the DSM-5, there's actually a lot more women than men suffering from anorexia. In fact, there's actually a 10-to-1 ratio. Now according to Statistics Canada, there's actually 0.4 to 1% of the Canadian population affected by anorexia nervosa. Now what about the damages of the disorder? Well, actually, according again to Statistics Canada, there's 20 to 30% of the cases as a whole where they were actually subject to suicide attempts. Now 5 to 20% of those cases actually died from the negative effects from anorexia nervosa. Now what about the United States? Are there still people affected by anorexia? Well, obviously there is. There's actually been proven of a 0.9% of the population affected by anorexia nervosa in their lifetime.
Alright, so for diagnostic criteria, there are three, but let me just name you two just so you have an idea. It's either the energy intake is actually way lower than what a doctor would recommend for your age and for your height. Another one would be the want to lose a lot of weight. Now for symptoms, there could be the OCD related to the fact that you're always planning meals in your head. It could also be you're scared to eat in public. You're also overtraining because you're just trying to lose weight fast. Or it could be even related to the fact that you're trying to get pills to try and limit your weight gain and maximize your weight loss. Now there are three causes for anorexia. There's temperamental, there is biological, and there's environmental. So environmental, it's like you need to get very skinny for your job, right? Like modeling. Biological, it's either from your parents, it's in your genes, like it's in your genes. And temperamental, it's from your childhood, like all the anxiety that accumulates that actually leads to anorexia and weight loss.
The treatment for anorexia nervosa implies a group of doctors, psychiatrists, and nutritionists. There are no medications that have proven to be reliable to cure this disorder. There are other medications, however, that can be prescribed to help cure other illness that could be explaining the behavior. So first of all, doctors will be making sure that the patient has a number of calories needed to take him out of life-threatening situation. After that, a psychiatrist will make sure that the patient is the correct mind state to assure a healthy weight gain. And finally, a nutritionist will create a meal plan in order to that the patient achieve his weight objectives.
So for two academic articles / studies for the treatments for anorexia, I found one with Norris, which he did a study where he actually provided olanzapine for patients adolescents most likely, that wanted to be cured for anorexia. And olanzapine, you can't just get that behind the counter. The government doesn't allow it yet. but he did a study to see what would be the results, right? Are the patients satisfied with their weight gain? Are they happy with the fact that they got cured with that? And the actual response was that there was a big success rate. Everybody was really happy, and that was just the first trial, so they're probably going to do more trials in the future to see. Now, the second one was Ramjan and Fogarty, which is an academic article published in 2019 or 18, I'm not quite sure. But pretty much what it was about the relationship between therapists and the patients. Pretty much what it says that the better the relationship, the stronger it was, the more that the patients are actually going to want to try and recover faster and better and come out of it even stronger than when they came out. And some people, it's very difficult to, try and recover from anorexia. But when you have a good therapist and you build a strong connection with them, they're going to want to recover even more. That's about it.